now we're going to move on to an interview with special guest Scott Michels. He is the founder of The Cause, and I believe Miss Katie Capelli will also be joining him as well. So let's welcome Mr. Scott Michels and Katie Capelli. All right, so I guess I'll start out by asking Katie Capelli one question. So she is one of the top members and organizers of the My Reason Why initiative, and she's also one of the funders. So Katie, why did you decide to fund this My Reason Why initiative?
Well, I think that our youth learn better from other youth, right? So we can have all the protective factors in the world. We can be the best support system in the world. And from the state, we can do prevention and say the message over and over again. But when they hear it from their youth, or when they hear it from their role models in their lives, that causes them to think differently, right? And you know, joining up with Scott and the work that he does, is the collective impact that he causes in Delaware was just a smart way to go. It's really a grassroots technique, and honestly, I'm tired of glossy, fancy language that tries to reach youth. You guys know best. You know what it is to reach other peers. You guys are role models. You just need the tools to be able to use your voice. And so I'm happy to continue funding projects like this in the future.
Okay, now, so Mr. Scott, what is your reason why?
My reason why? My reason why I choose not to use and abuse drugs is truly it's my family. And it's funny because my reason changes. I have lots of reasons. And what's so great about this project is that your reason might change, it might be different every day, but when you hear all of these different reasons, sometimes it can remind you of other reasons why that you didn't quite remember or think of. So when I'm watching these videos, a lot of times things will come up to me, but in my life, and I'm a recovering alcoholic, way too late in my life I realized that my family is really the most valuable thing to me, and I'm still working on that balance, but it's the reason why I chose to quit drinking. And then also, my other reason why is because right now there's amazing things going on like this. We have the Cause production crew, social cause influencers, all these things going on, and I can't risk this magic that you are all creating. And if I could do anything to mess it up, I would never want to do that. So I want to stay in the background and let you guys do that. Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Now, Katie, I bet quite a few people in here may have just heard about My Reason Why or never heard of My Reason Why up until this point. So could you tell us, what is the history of My Reason Why? Who started it? How did you get the idea for it? And could you trace its development from its origin to where it is now?
Sure. So a lot of drug prevention starts with scare tactics. And so Scott and I talked a lot about, we don't want to just use these scare tactics, although there is a time and place for scare tactics, or there's a time and place to be real with kids. But there's so much more to live for. And in my vision of My Reason Why DE, and I know in Scott's vision as well, we want to create a protective framework for prevention. So it's not about substance use prevention. It's about mental health. It's about gun violence. It's about, about rape, and about all these like horrible things that, are could happen in society. We want to give a positive outlook of why we're trying to be the positive influence in our own lives. And so we wanted something that was cross-sectional, that obviously, as I said before, we wanted to give the kids a voice. And as Scott mentioned, we want to just step back and let you guys make this happen. Because I don't even know like some of the social media outlets that you guys use anymore. I still use Facebook, and I still don't really know how to use Instagram, to be honest. Like, I really feel like I'm naive with all that. But you guys have these cool tools at your fingertips, things that could be really used for good if you were trained how to use this. I mean, yes, social media, I mean, my kids know I don't let them on social media, right? It can be, a negative thing, but we're like, how can we use social media to be a positive influence? Well, we just got to equip you guys with the power to speak your voices and to use that tool to do positive in the world. And Scott said I'm going to be amazed tonight, and you guys surpassed my vision for this. Like, this is incredible. This is a spark, and it's just going to keep burning. And I'm so excited to keep funding this in the future.
Can I say something on that, too?
Of course.
I just wanted to touch a little bit more on when you were saying the positive framework and things like that. One of the things that I hope that everyone in this room realizes is that each one of us has power of influence, and it's strongest with the peers right around us. And the thing is that I bet most of the people in here are safe and sound, healthy, good people. And first of all, I want to tell you that good and bad has no judgment when it comes to someone who's experiencing addiction, because it's a disease, okay? But what I want to say is that if you want to help, and in the drug crisis right now, a lot of people are like, well, I don't know someone who uses, or I don't really know what my role could be. But what I want to tell you is that imagine that we're on a boat, okay? This is what we call the on-the-boat theory, all right? So on this boat is this room. We're all here at a wonderful, healthy, happy event, and we're doing pretty well in our lives. But some people fall off the boat, and they fall into danger. Maybe they experiencing addiction. A lot of our work in the past would be to shout at the person who's fallen off the boat, saying, hey, get back on the boat, swim as hard as you can, don't drown. But all of a sudden, we looked around and we said, but there's a whole boat full of healthy, happy people who could maybe throw the rope back in, or the life raft. And then what prevention is really about, and what we're trying to do with My Reason Why, is actually catch people before they fall. Start to learn what the signs of addiction are, so if someone's starting to struggle, we can maybe catch them before we fall off the boat. But guess what one of the biggest deterrents of drug use is? Active minds, bodies, and spirits. When you're interested in something, when you're sparking on something, when you're active, you just become all about that. And it's the people who don't have really things that excite them or that they're sunken their teeth into that sometimes, get maybe bored and start to use drugs. So in that sense, this campaign, you can see over 100, maybe when we're done, 1,000, maybe every Delawarean, that's our goal. You're going to see all these different varieties of safety ways that you can live, have fun, and be safe. So that's hopefully a little bit more that I'm hoping I'm getting across, that it's our responsibility to be the ones that make this world safe. If we can understand that, and all it takes is making a message every once in a while, having a conversation at your dinner table, even if that conversation is, hey, does anyone know what fentanyl is? I don't even know what this thing is, but apparently it's really bad. So questions are good conversations, but I'm eating up the air, but that's what I'd like to say about that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott and Miss Katie, for letting us interview you, and we hope to do more projects with you in the future.
Let's get up for Scott and Katie.